Are you trying to generate high ticket leads for your law firm or for your agency or as a consultant for your SaaS? You know, those $100,000 clients. And you've been trying YouTube. In this episode, I'm going to show you why YouTube is actually the best place for you to generate those leads, how I've done it in the past for other clients, how some of my students, my trusted authority, have done it. We're going to talk about not only why is it the best, but the big mistakes people make, how to overcome them. And then I'm going to tell you exactly how to access my workshop where I talk about the best ways, all the best ways to generate high ticket leads from YouTube, including my 27 best ways, plus I'm going to show you how to find your 4 core YouTube lead gen strategies to generate high ticket clients for your business, because it's unique, out of those 27 plus ways. All right, this is the Garlic Marketing Show. My name's Ian Garlic, and if you don't know who I am, for the past almost 20 years since Google purchased YouTube, I've been generating leads and high ticket pre-sold clients for my clients using YouTube, using video case stories. I'm the founder of videocasestory.com and other strategies. I've worked with attorneys. I've worked with big name clients like Gino Wickman, Fran Tarkenton, Target Financial. I've worked with financial officers, with SaaS companies, with fulfillment companies. We actually got one accountant last year, 600 plus leads using the strategies we're going to talk about today. And the key to it that we're going to talk about today is knowing the right ideas. We're going to talk about creating your strategy stack, because it's not just one. We're going to talk about the core 4 videos and the big mistakes people make, because there's some hidden opportunities. I'm going to talk about 3 out of 6 of the power moves today. I'm going to keep this relatively short. But here's the thing. If you want to access all of this, I've built a workshop. And I put it on live, showing exact philosophies, teaching you exactly how to do this, what videos you need to create, because you only need to create 4, the core 4 videos, and then how to choose from the 27 plus strategies. You can access the first half of that workshop for free. It was a paid workshop. I'm still charging for the full workshop, but you get the first half of the workshop for free if you go to videocasestory.com/27 ways. All right, so why is YouTube the best place to land high ticket clients? The problem with traditional lead gen is it has the yellow pages philosophy, and lunkers, big 100K clients, I call them lunkers because I like to fish, and it's a fishing term. They don't want to just encounter you the first time. They want to learn everything they can about you and your business and how you work and what are the best practices, and you to be the trusted authority before they contact you. And this is a key because YouTube allows you to do this. YouTube has some hidden mechanisms that allow it to do this. In the workshop that I mentioned, we're going to go deep into how lunkers decide now and the problem with the YouTube philosophy and optimizing for what I call the green zone. This is where the decisions are made. We're going to go deep into that so you understand how to work that. But the key with lunkers is they prefer laid back learning. They're not learning during the day. They're not coming to webinars. They're not getting into a funnel. They don't want to opt in. They don't want to be in sales funnel. They don't want to be in sales conversations. Those 100K clients, they want, and I'm sure you do this too. You want to know everything you can before you talk to the person, and you don't want to be sold or closed. There's a new methodology to how people buy high ticket services, and YouTube is the perfect place for it. And I can tell you, one of my clients, Brent, is an attorney, regularly landing 100K clients from this strategy stack that we installed almost 7-8 years ago for him. And we just shot new videos. So we know this works. I have a cosmetic dentist that we work with who just landed another 5-figure patient from, once again, the strategy stack that we installed 7 years ago. And then we have law firms that have grown to $10 million. As I mentioned, an accountant that had 600 leads last year, a digital agency that landed Fortune 50 clients pre-sold from YouTube. You can see all those case stories, the videos of them. You don't have to trust me. They're down below. Hopefully you will trust me soon enough, but we'll put links to all those case stories down below. And, so this is the key, is understanding that the clients are there, but they are lurking. And when you get through that idea that YouTube's a different platform, because YouTube has hidden mechanisms. I'm going to talk about a few of them today. I go deep into the workshop. Once again, the link's down below. You get it for free, but it's deeper. So I wanted to keep this a little higher level. And people use YouTube to research and learn. It is the number 2 most used search engine. But I think when people are going to learn something, for the most part, they're going to YouTube to learn. I go to Google to find stuff, right? I go to Google to find things. But here's the other hidden mechanism, is YouTube, also videos show up in the search engines. When that started happening is actually when I started the company. I was like, this is going to change everything, because I can put customer stories. I can put these closing videos in front of people looking for the services. And it's one of the strategies we'll talk about, and which videos, how to get them there. But it is an amazing strategy, because you have clients, you have people that are looking for the service, looking for their answers. Now you have people looking for the answers to their 7-figure problems, right? We all have bigger clients. Those 100K clients have 7-figure problems. We'll get deeper into that in a few minutes, but understanding that, right, is a huge, huge thing. Because once you unlock your 7-figure problems and you speak to them and you have videos about them and you show you doing it, you're going to win those clients. The other piece I love about YouTube is when you send clients to YouTube, you send the right clients to the right videos and they watch enough of them, the videos are gonna follow them around. And that doesn't happen like in any other platform. And so that's automating the follow-up. Now there's a lot of other hidden mechanisms to YouTube that we encounter, that I've found, that I exploit, and you're going to learn all about those in the workshop. But once again, I don't want this to be an hour-long episode. The final one, this is the biggest one. And when you sign up for the workshop, I'm giving free access to a workshop about this. AI is using YouTube to feed their search results. So when you search for an answer to something, AI, ChatGPT, and other LLMs, large language models, are actually pulling from YouTube more than other places for the answers to your questions. So if you have strong YouTube videos, you actually become the one suggested. I'm seeing this all the time. I'm getting calls. I just talked to a client yesterday. She's like, I keep getting calls. And people are like, I just went to ChatGPT and found you. Folks, if you don't do this, if you are not optimizing YouTube to communicate with ChatGPT and putting the right videos there, understanding the questions, $1 million problems, $100,000 questions, you are going to not only miss out on those leads, you're going to lose leads, because prospects are going to go to ChatGPT and never even hit your website. Websites are dying in that way. But one of the strategies I talk about in the workshop is actually the integration of website and YouTube. We're doing this in a whole new way now to make them work together and to trigger the AI, because we used all the other factors in there. So when you sign up for the workshop, videocasestory.com/27 ways, you'll get also access to the mastermind workshop that I did for a private group. And it's about 30 minutes long, but it goes deep into that relationship and how AI and YouTube are hijacking your clients and how to flip it. So why is your YouTube channel dormant? Why has it not worked? Why, if you try strategy and you're like, how is this going to be different? I'll tell you the reason why. And I've only actually now seen one other company, and I'm going to have him on the podcast that I just met him the other day, super smart guy, using the YouTube strategies that I'm teaching you. The number one problem is the influencer model. You think that influencers, and I know a lot of influencers, I've had them as clients, I have them as friends, they're awesome people. Their business model is different than if you have a business on the back end, right? They're looking for views because they get paid by YouTube. And a lot of them try to put a business model on the back end and it actually fails. There's tons of influencers out there with tons of views that can't land high ticket clients. And what happens is that influencer model, the problem with it is they tell you a few things, right? You need to do all these funny things to get a ton of views. So you're chasing the views instead of chasing the $1 million clients, chasing those 7-figure clients and their 7-figure problems and answering them. So you're going after the wrong people, right? By definition, $1 million clients are the 1%ers and you're going after the 99%. So you're not grabbing their attention, but also you're diluting your messaging. Because if you're speaking to someone, I recently watched a video by Noah Kagan, and he's super smart, but he talked about making like $1,000 in a weekend. I would be very frustrated if I spent my whole weekend to make $1,000. I know for some of you that might be like, oh, but I want to make $1,000. But when you learn how to make money, and 7-figure earners are the same way. Some of them charge, if you're one of those people, you charge $1,000 an hour, right? And so influencer strategies, you get on this daily content hamster wheel. You're just telling people don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, I had a call to action here. And if you're a big client, I bet you're not going to like, subscribe, or comment. You might go that opt-in. I'm going to follow you around. You're going to see my videos in other places. But if you're chasing the mass market, you also turn off those premium clients. And that's a huge, huge deal, folks, because now not only are you not going after the right clients, you're turning off the best ones. And the number one thing I see, and you'll see if you get into one of my workshops and we go through, and I dive deep, like that's why it's a paid workshop. It's not a webinar that's selling you. It is a paid workshop that people get real information. They go and can do the things. And I dive deep into their YouTube channels. And one of the biggest things I see always is the YouTube channel is not open for business. I can't tell how to work with them. I can't tell what problem they solve. I can't tell what they do over and over and over again. And I know what they do. And it's still hard to be like, hey, where do you show me how you work? Where do you answer my closing questions? They don't. And so on top of it, lunkers are lurkers. So attribution, you're not going to get a lot of attribution from YouTube. One of my clients, tax client regular, gets 5-figure cases from his YouTube channel. 5 figures. What is that? And he was here at the studio. We were shooting his for a shoot day, and he picked up the phone and closed the client right away. The person said, "I saw you on TV." He's never been on TV. It's because of this YouTube stack that they've seen the videos everywhere. So eventually it feels like they've seen them on TV. I'm going to get into the power of a stack in a second, but here's the other problem with other channels for high ticket clients. LinkedIn, you can get them. I am not saying that. I actually started into marketing years ago before I got into YouTube, before YouTube really existed. I got a 9-figure client from YouTube. I sold them, almost sold them a 9-figure building in New York City. Or I'm sorry, I got it from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn works. I'm not saying LinkedIn works. I'm not saying Facebook ads don't work. I'm not saying websites don't work. I'm not saying SEO works. But here's the thing with LinkedIn. I just saw an ad for someone who's like, here's my LinkedIn technique. I'm going to get you, 1 to 2 hours a day. You're going to you'll end up with 3 to 4 clients a month. Now, it's a single technique, single stream. This is the problem with it. 1 to 2 hours a day. Let's say you do it 20 days a month. You take the weekends off and you do 2 hours a day. You're ambitious. So now you're doing 40 hours a month for 3 months. You get some results. All of a sudden the algorithm changes. you don't get any results anymore, which happens, or you just didn't do it right. You missed something. You got frustrated. Now, if you love LinkedIn, that's great. Do it 2 hours a day. But you've now spent 120 hours on LinkedIn. If you're selling to $1 million clients, you should be charging for you $400 to $500 an hour. That should be your going rate. And for my clients that use YouTube the right way, they've doubled those rates. But that's not the point. You can raise your prices. The point being is, because of the way LinkedIn is, you've now spent, let's say you spent 120 hours and you're $400. It's $48,000 in opportunity cost. $48,000. I can tell you that I can get you, if you want to spend $48,000 and you have that budget, I can get you your YouTube closer done in 2 days. You fly down here and then you don't make another video for 2 years and it'll still work. But that aside, the problem here is also, not only did you spend that time, and you probably spent other money, you bought a course, you got coaching, maybe you spent $10,000 on coaching, or you spent $20,000 on an agency, or $15,000 on an agency. Whatever you spent, you're now out that money. LinkedIn doesn't work, and what happens? You have nothing to show for it because your LinkedIn posts don't show up for 6 months later. Websites are dying too. So LinkedIn, there you go. Websites are dying. You've got a 1% conversion rate on your website. Time on site's dropping. But you're investing in SEO, which you should. SEO still works, but you need to convert in a different way. And that's what we'll talk about, is using YouTube to make the websites convert better and follow up better. If you have a lead magnet, it might work. You're trying to get big clients to opt in. Most of them, your call might come through the website from YouTube. Because people generally don't look on YouTube for a phone number, and you can have it on there. They're going to go to your website, do a final check, and give you a call. So I'm not saying you don't spend money on your website, but you're spending $30,000, $50,000, $60,000 on SEO website, maybe pay-per-click to the website, and it's dying there. YouTube can transform that. And that's what I love about YouTube. And then there's people doing social media ads. I see this a lot. We're doing social media just in general. Same thing like, LinkedIn. They're doing Instagram every day. And then they have a 100-person audience. And they're hoping that video is going to take off. I'm not saying Instagram isn't a great place to go. If you want to, comment below if you want some other ones about Brendan, who grew his audience to Instagram to 100,000. But he did that after he had a massively converting YouTube channel. I'm not the only person coming up with these strategies, right? If you really do a deep dive into what Alex Hormozi, who did a $100 million launch in a single day, is doing, he's doing a version of the YouTube strategies that I'm going to talk about in there. But he's been doing it for years. I'm going to give you a shortcut that you can get it done in 90 days. Or, like I said, you can fly down here and get it done in 2 days. But it's about creating a stack. And that's, I have developed, I'll be honest with you, I said 27 ways. When you break it down, there's like 70 different lead gen techniques. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I had people in the workshop like, I don't want 70. You need to have options. It depends on your industry, your business, other lead gen techniques you're using, your value proposition, how long you've been in business, how much you're charging. There's a lot of factors that we put into this. And I'll show you how to use those factors, how to decide on those factors. But you create a stack. What is a stack? A strategy stack is where you take 3 to 5 strategies that work together and you compound them. And that makes sense, right? But you can have social media, go to YouTube, etc. And we have, like I said, a variety of them. It'll depend on where you are in your business, where you are in your YouTube channel. But you can have a completely no YouTube channel. You can have an existing YouTube channel that has 100 videos on it. That's going to change the strategy and what you're going to do first. But a stack is not just things that work together. They compound each other and they improve upon each other. So when you have the right stack, you don't have to be perfect. Like I was talking about LinkedIn, you don't have to have the perfect website. You don't have to have the perfect LinkedIn. You don't have to have the perfect YouTube channel. YouTube, I've got the basics so you can get a YouTube video done, your first video done in the first week. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it will work because you are stacking strategies that compound with each other. The problem is when you grow, I'm going to do Facebook ads, and I'm going to go all in on Facebook ads. You have to be perfect with Facebook ads. If it fails, which a lot of those lead gen strategies do, and not just because of the person providing it or the strategy, there are so many elements in there that can fail, from targeting to messaging, to longevity, to follow-up, to funnel. Any one of those pieces fail and you have nothing, right? I've gotten great, 2-cent clicks and then don't get a single lead. Once again, going back to that strategy, then you have nothing to show for it. That's what I love about YouTube, is when you stack the strategies, it actually builds upon itself. We have clients that have been building upon it for 10 years and there's no one's going to touch them. No one has a chance of touching them in their industry. They are the only choice because of the compounding effect of these strategies. So when you go to the workshop, I'm going to give you the first half of the workshop for free. It's going to go deeper dive into all these philosophies. We're going to talk about the invisible pipeline. You're going to learn about the core 4 videos. You're going to learn about my favorite, the easiest strategy stack that you can do with one video, all in there. And then if you want to get all the strategies and learn how to make your stack, you can pay. It's a little bit of money. I charge because I want people who are serious. I invest a ton of time. We've got 20 years of experience figuring out what's working. That's why I charge for the second half of it. But you can get the first half of it for free. Just go to videocasestory.com/27 ways or comment below. I'll send you over a link. And whatever's easiest for you, we're going to send you access to that. And as a bonus, when you reply to the first email, I'll send you over my workshop on YouTube and AI and how to get them to send you business. And that's one of my, strategy techniques. I'm constantly innovating these, constantly testing them because they need to work, but they also need to compound. And you're going to get access to all of that. But either way, I hope YouTube, if you're doing high ticket sales, if you have a salesperson, if you have, any type of life cycle, YouTube is the place you need to be. You just need the right strategies and you're going to learn more about them. Hopefully you learned a lot today. And if you have any other questions or thoughts, what was your big aha? Comment below. Let me know. But really, go get that workshop. It is free for right now. And I'll tell you then how to get the other workshop for free. And it's really a no-brainer price if you want to get the full one. All right, this has been Ian Garlic and the Garlic Marketing Show. Thank you so much for making me a part of your story.